Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here in the Institution of Mechanical Engineers with Katie Kelleher. We're going to be talking, Katie, about the European Rental Association's week where we're promoting investors in people, and also we're actually promoting the industry as a whole, folks. And so we're here really to discuss, one, your journey, and then in this two-part interview we'll be talking about things like stars of the future, diversity and inclusion. But Katie, I wanted to really start by sort of introducing yourself as Katie Kelleher, and you're talking about your journey in the industry, and then why you have joined the CPA and what you're trying to achieve with that.
Lovely. So my name's Katie Kelleher. I work for the CPA as a Technical and Development Officer. It's quite wordy, isn't it? But yeah, Technical and Development Officer for the CPA.
So when you got the job, beforehand you'd actually been in the industry as a crane operator and talked about that a lot on social media, and then built that presence for people to understand how that industry works. And that's really important, isn't it, that journey that you've taken?
It is, and it's, you know, I'm quite passionate about it. I'm passionate about apprenticeships. So I started as an apprentice, having worked in sales for 10 plus years. Did university, English literature for a while, and it was kind of, I was always a bit lost up until I found construction. And for me, I think the reason I speak about it so much and the reason I talk about apprenticeships is because of the opportunity it gave me. It gave me an opportunity to change my life. And I don't say that lightly. It completely changed my life. It completely changed my happiness, the way I live, the money I earn, how I go about my day to day. And for me, that's really important. And, you know, we often think about apprentices as being young people, you know, 16, 17 out of college. It's not always the case. I didn't start my apprenticeship till I was 30.
Wow. Yeah. So a complete life change.
A complete change. And I think it's just making people aware that apprenticeships are for everyone. They're not just for young people, and career changes are for everyone. So you can pick yourself up, completely reinvent yourself and change career at any time.
So talk to me about that moment when you joined as an apprentice, you know, in the industry, and what happened, you know, from then on in that brings you here today.
Yeah, it's, I mean, we're going back to 2014, so some time ago. So I was offered an apprenticeship with Lang O'Rourke at the time. It's called a lifting technician apprenticeship. Sounds wordy again, but essentially I was a crane operator. I did slinger signalling, I did mobile cranes, tower cranes, crawler cranes, so all the cranes. And then after that, I went through my studies and came out the other side of that to work on two of the most prestigious sites in London. So the first one I worked on was Crossrail.
Right,
Massive.
Which, for people outside the UK, a huge rail project.
Big rail project, known as the Elizabeth line now, of course, which I was really proud to be part of. And I guess that kind of put me on a slightly different trajectory, because people noticed I might be a bit different. There wasn't that many female crane operators. So people might have noticed that that was a thing, and I got asked to be involved with a lot more things. So talking to schools, I spoke to a lot of press, a lot of magazines, ministers, loads of different things, and it kind of sets you on a slightly different path.
And the other big project, of course, was
Tideway. So yeah, the Tideway project. So the super sewer through London, replacing the old sewer, which was built in Victorian times to change London. And I think, you know, probably the best thing about working in construction, which I always say, is the legacy you leave behind, and it's the way you impact people's lives. And I feel like I've had a small impact on the way people live in London, the way people travel, the environment, making it cleaner for people, making it a lot more just a better place to be. And if you can leave that behind, that's probably one of the best things you can do.
And I think what's really interesting about construction is everything. You know, where we're sitting today, a factory has built this. We're in this institution here, and it's full of books about mechanical engineering and how things are put together. But nothing would happen without construction enabling that to happen. The factories, the places we live, the things we do, the Wi-Fi that we're projecting out there, interviews like this on. So, you know, you've done won those big projects, so you've then decided to go out there, and you're actually a LinkedIn top voice. You've gone out there and really taken your extra time to talk to the industry, and particularly love what you're doing with young people. That brings us into this time now with the CPA. Tell people what, first of all, the CPA is, and then the role and the types of things you've been doing to then project out what the industry is in an even more of a larger way.
So the CPA is the Construction Plant Hire Association.
Yep.
So our members work for plant hire firms. They own plant hire firms. We also have manufacturers who join as members and other people in construction who might be interested. But the bulk of our members are people who rent plant hire to construction sites.
Yep.
And what we do essentially as a CPA is we try and support them as best we can through documents. So we do a lot of kind of health and safety documents, a lot of notices. It's about us keeping our members abreast with what's going on in the industry.
And I think what's really interesting is a new collaboration you've just done around training, and you know, an eco training, which is making sure we reduce the carbon impact of our industry, and things like that enable you to go around and talk to people in the industry to see what they're doing, and then share that best practice, which is important, isn't it?
It is. It's we were talking about it earlier, but so often everything that we work is in such little groups, and we don't share enough.
Yeah.
So part of what we do as a CPA is we bring together like groups like the concrete pumping groups and the crane, the tower crane groups, the crawler crane groups, and we bring them together to work on documents that make the industry better. Sort of a collaborative approach, if you want to look at it like that, where everyone agrees that this is what we need to be doing, this is how we need to be doing it, and we put that out there as guidance.
And of course, folks, what's really interesting about that is that's all about investing in people, which is really what the campaign is around for European Rental Week, with the ERA, and why we wanted to do this here today. And I think what's really great, folks, is that Investors in People also is about celebrating people with the Stars of the Future Awards, which has become a massive, big thing in the UK, which we're going to talk about, folks, in the next edition of this chat with Katie. So, Katie will be joining us for that later on. So for now, folks, just get yourself involved in the ERA Rental Week, which is basically going to be across the whole of the European rental industry. So we can see the hashtags below that you can get involved with and see what's going on. But until the next time, join us when we talk about the real stars of the future, isn't it, Katie?
Yes, look forward to it.